Everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. First off, as you can see, obviously, I shaved. I got lazy, and this happens every winter. I get lazy, and I don't feel like shaving, and I grow a beard. And this year, I decided I was going to see how bushy I could grow it, but of course, it always gets very itchy and uncomfortable. And I finally had enough, and I shaved the whole thing off. I left the mustache, just for fun, for a bit. Also, because the mustache is normal hair color, the rest of my beard was white, which makes me look and feel older than I am. And I am old, but I don't want to look or feel old. You know what I mean? So, bye-bye. I have a couple movies that I saw over the past week, because last week, on New Year's Day, I went and saw Migration. The new CGI cartoon animated movie from Illumination. I wanted to see it in 3D because I had seen the trailer for it in 3D ahead of a bunch of other 3D movies that I'd seen, and the 3D looked really good. But I didn't see it opening weekend because that was Aquaman, and on the following weekend is New Year's Eve, and it was very busy, but on New Year's Day I had some time, and I said, I'm going to go see it now. Because if you want to see a 3D movie nowadays, you gotta see it the first week, maybe the second, otherwise it's gone and everything's 2D. So, I went and I saw it, and the movie's fine. Like, it's very generic, you know, the family of ducks, and they have an adventure, and everybody learns their lessons, and it's like, okay, fine. There were no real surprises, like, it's not great, but the 3D was terrific, and I was glad that I went to see it in the theater, to see it in 3D properly. Because it was just really good 3D. I mean, like, there's lots of great 3D setups, but, like, even when the ducks are just talking, like, their bills, like, come out of the camera. They'll come out of the screen at you, which is, like, great. So there's just lots of depth throughout, and I'm glad that I saw it in 3D. I can't really recommend it. Like, it's not a great movie. It's fine. You won't feel like you wasted your time, but, you know, I'd only recommend it if you could see it in 3D, because the 3D was really good. And then this weekend, I went to see The Color Purple. I recently watched the Steven Spielberg movie from the 80s that I had never seen for some reason. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because the musical adaptation of the story, it did fix a couple of things that I had a problem with in the Spielberg version. It makes the character of Nettie into an actual character, so that you miss her when she's gone, and you kind of understand, and you feel it. Which I felt like Spielberg didn't really do a good job, so that when she was gone, it was sort of like, whatever, I barely knew her. And then the musical also makes a Deus Ex Machina character at the end, his actions make more sense, whereas in the Spielberg one, I felt like it came out of nowhere, and I was like, why is he doing this? Like, this makes literally no sense to me, and I don't understand. So the musical fixed those two things, but then it had a host of its own problems, mostly because it's a musical, they had to make room for all the musical numbers, so they're kind of rushing through the story. And so certain dramatic beats aren't landing with the power that they should be, and it just sort of is like, and it just felt kind of unbalanced and off and weird, and it made choice. Like, I never read the book, so I don't know which is the more accurate adaptation, though I feel like the Spielberg movie is more accurate, because the musical is a musical, and it's a little bit, you know, it's like happy and joyous a lot of the times, and I know that's great, but it didn't feel as realistic as the Spielberg movie did. I don't know. But I just felt like some of the story beats didn't hit because they were rushed through to get to the musical numbers, and the problem is that being musical, the musical numbers weren't that great. There's a few of them that are like, okay, that's a good musical number, but I didn't really care about any of the songs. Like, I'm not going to go listen to the soundtrack. You're not humming anything as you leave the theater. It was just sort of fine. And I'm glad that I saw the movie version and didn't spend $100 to see it on Broadway, because that probably wouldn't have been, I would have been more disappointed to have spent that much money on it. Although maybe it worked better on stage. I don't know. Great performances, solid story, but I wasn't crazy about the songs. So your mileage may vary. You may think, oh, that was terrific. Give it a shot. If you like musicals, go ahead. As for games, as predicted, balancing 4 games at the same time is proving to be difficult. Obviously, I can play Animal Crossing, no problem. I play that 15-20 minutes every day and do my rounds. Now, though, I have added Disney Dreamlight Valley. And while that used to suck up like hours at a time, now I'm trying to do that in just the same 20 to 30 minutes and just do my daily rounds and check the store and check my farming and get some coins and whatever, find my moonstones in the blue chest, and then maybe do it, if I have time, do one of the quests or something, but sometimes they get really involved. There was one day in this past week where I've been trying to do the Star Path, you know, to get the special items and such, and I've been trying to do the Star Path duties, and then one of them showed up, and it was like, give a spaceman his favorite gifts. And I'm like, well, that's Buzz, and I have not unlocked the Toy Story world yet, so whatever. I'll do the other 5. I'll work on the other 5. But then I got another one. When I finished one, the replacement was chat with the Valley's favorite sheriff. And I'm like, well, that's Woody. Now I've got 2 of the 6 that I can't do because I haven't unlocked Toy Story. So I was like, fine. So I went and I unlocked the Toy Story realm, because I had plenty of Dreamlight, because I haven't been using it, because everything's unlocked except for that. So I went and unlocked that, and then I'm like, okay, fine. And I brought Buzz, and then you do some more stuff, and then you bring Woody, and I was just desperate to get them to the Valley, not just so I could do the Star Path and get my rewards, but I needed to get out of that Toy Story realm, because while it looked really cute and you're like this little tiny, everything's big because you're the size of a toy, not that the proportions were accurate, but whatever, it's still cute. But it kept playing. I wanted out of that Toy Story realm because it just kept playing that annoying Randy Newman song the entire time you're in there, and it was making me insane, and I was like, I have to get out of here. Please come to my valley. I can't be here anymore. So that was done, and then I was able to like kind of play it just a little bit at a time every day, the way I do Animal Crossing. Because what I found is I am more inclined to play Avatar over Super Mario RPG. And I think it's mostly just because Avatar it's a first-person game, and it's this very immersive world, and it's just beautiful, and you want to explore, and that to me is, I love that about open world games. That's why I love them, is that you just want to explore and be like, oh, what's over there, or what's that smoke, can I go over there and see what that is, or what's that building, or what's that tree. And last week I finally got to the quest where I got my Ikron, and now I can fly everywhere, so it feels like it's opened up even more of the world. I mean, I'm not venturing out too far because I feel like the enemies will be more difficult and I don't want to get killed. But just that exploration, flying around, and I'm just like, I want to do this. And it's just great. And I have been enjoying it a lot. So I have been, when I finish Disney Dreamlight Valley on my PlayStation, I will just go to the home screen and switch over to Avatar and play a bunch of that. And like do a side quest here or go explore over there, and I'm in the middle of a big mission right now. I did do one recently though. It was a side quest mission, and I was very proud of myself because it was a smaller thing, and I was able to get in and like destroy the generator and then hack the machine without killing anyone. Because once you destroy the machine and hack it, they all flee, which is great. not to say I did it without being seen. I did get seen, and they were shooting at me, but I was able to destroy the machine before I died, and they all ran away, and it was fine. So I was very proud of myself for managing that and not having to spend like a half an hour taking them out one by one. It's annoying. But yeah, I've been playing a lot more Avatar than Super Mario RPG. I normally would say, oh, well, I'll just play Super Mario on my Switch when I'm traveling, except I don't travel because I work from home now. So I did play it yesterday when I went to see Color Purple on the train, because while Christmas shopping and such, I did get myself this new Animal Crossing New Horizons branded Switch case, which is lovely. I kind of needed a new case, and this was like $8 at Burlington Coat Factory, so I was like, I'll just pick this up, no problem. And I can just carry it around, and it's fine. The ride in was way too packed, crowded train, so I couldn't do anything. But on the way home, I had room, so I could pull out my Switch and I could play some Super Mario RPG. So I did play a little bit more of it, but it's not a lot. So I think I'm going to have to like start alternating and being like, you know what, I've played a couple of days of Avatar, let me play a day of Super Mario RPG. And then I'll play some more Avatar tomorrow. Because I do enjoy Super Mario RPG. It's fun, it's enjoyable, but like the story is very cute, but it's nothing where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next, you know? And there's no like, oh, I can't wait to explore over here, because it's very linear and you're just going from area to area, and it's just sort of like, okay. You know, so it doesn't have the same draw that Avatar does, where I want to be like, oh, I want to explore more and lose myself in that world, because that's what I like to do with video games, is just lose myself in them so that I don't have to think about reality. So come back next episode and see if I've been able to put this plan into motion to alternate Avatar and Mario RPG, or if I have just played a ton of Avatar and, once again, barely any Super Mario RPG. Place your bets. Come back next week and find out if you've won. I would bet against balancing. Just saying. Bye!